leaders from northeastern Kenya are crying marginalization, while those from the coast have joined forces to issue a divorce notice to ODM. What do you make of the political alignments that are playing out over the county revenue allocation formula?
Those are threats to make people look bad, to make people who are populars look bad. You go to Kakamega, they are supposed to look bad because they are many. Some people are elected, somebody is a member of parliament, but is in parliament with 15,000 votes. Another one is in the county assembly in Kakamega with 30,000 votes. Somebody is a member of parliament with 70,000 votes. Money is allocated for services to serve people, not land mass. That is a fact. But if you look at the formula, it is not that it is so skewed. It is just that it is righting the wrongs which have been there. Very, very few people have been receiving money. They had convoluted that the census results that showed there were very many. Previously, the census showed that people in Northeastern were very many. People in Tharaka Nithi were very many. Then the last result, which was slightly more well organized, shows that this was a hoax. And now the constitution requires that you take this into account. Population poverty index. Now this earlier on were convoluted to a landmass that you say I have to travel 1,000 kilometers to meet people in which corner. Yes, but that will be done through equalization fund, direct government investment like roads, like water, like electricity. But I really don't think you can take up an equivalent of level 7 Kenyatta National Hospital, then you put it somewhere in one of those counties where there are 200,000 people as a population. You must take 4 or 5 million. So the division of revenue formula, the current one proposed, is better. It is only that my brother Kangata is using a very strange method, threatening Honorable Raila, threatening the Luo Nation, threatening people, and the other people are going round, instead of telling Kenyans exactly where the contention is. I know my brother, my younger brother like Murkomen, they want to tell the president, you made a mistake by removing us and putting this guy, so you are suffering. I urge the president to stay put so that this thing is implemented, and further these people allocate more money separate out of the formula to build these counties that are remote, that have been left behind. Even Kisumu has been left behind for all these years. I come from Kisumu, it has been left behind. Some of these counties, the monies are shared here in Nairobi. They are not used. If you look at the way, let's say, my governor Mutua has used his money, the way my governor Kebwana has used his money, compared to the way Akuba has used his money, and you know that some are just wasting this money. So these two governors after Mutua and Kebwana have done a good job.
Just this morning on this show, we were talking about our leaders now wanting that they can use their nicknames on the ballot papers because people don't know their official names. Yeah, like yes. Right now, Weda is just talking about Akuba, and probably who Akuba is. Well, that is the governor of Homa Bay County, and of course you know him by other official names. Yes. Okay, but this Akuba seems to be one that would give him really good votes instead of Awiti, yes. As would be. Now, you just talked about Senator Kangata, Majority Whip, who is struggling to get his troops together, and Jubilee Vice Chair David Murade was quoted in saying that the party would take action against senators like Sakaja, who is seen as leading the Team Kenya Rebellion. Is there really a party position on this matter, or a government position, as Kangata says?
Once the when the division of revenue is being done, normally it's not done in a hotel somewhere or whatever. There is input, and input from government. Input from government, including from the Attorney General, from all the parties, and from the Treasury, and so on. So when it is put, it is the position of government. And the senators are to look at it in the interest of the people they represent. They also look at it in terms of the law. So when they take it and they find there's a populist wing where a senator from Kakamega wants to pretend that he loves the people of Lamu more than he loves the people of Kakamega. You find the senator of Nandi pretending to love the people of I don't know which county more than he loves the people of Nandi. It is called grandstanding. But the background of this is the pain as a result of the hard tackle the president and his team visited on the Senate and the National Assembly. So some people are saying, we will also pay you back. Who is suffering? The people of Kenya. And then the worst thing, Honorable Kangata comes, and instead of being able to cajole and talk to his colleagues, he is still threatening them with the president. He is still threatening them with the party. Whipping your colleagues is about negotiations. It's about talking. You don't complain about Senator Sakaja. Senator Sakaja can easily be called by President Uhuru for a cup of tea. And when Senator comes out, you will see him singing and saying, Uhuru tena tano. So you don't complain about him. Like these are colleagues, you call them. But the people that are crying, they are crying because they have been benefiting from a convoluted formula. We must correct these things. I am saying it because looking at the figures, why would you have so little money going to Kakamega and so much money going to Lamu? I'm not saying there's something against Lamu, but I'm talking about the core consideration in the constitution, population.
Once again, Western Kenya leaders are engaged in a stormy argument about the team led by Governor Oparanya. Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalo and the Kotu boss Francis Atoli met KANU leader Gideon Moi.
And how should we be able to strengthen our relationships politically, socially, and economically?
We've had some fruitful discussions. This is one way of building and solidifying our friendship, and it was one way of affirming our commitment to BBI and to the handshake.
Waziri Eugene anakuja anasema anaenda kuleta maendeleo. Nataka kuuliza Eugene, kwani wewe uko kwa serikali ya Uganda saa hii ama ni ya Kenya?
Kitu ya ajabu, hatukwenda kuzindua picha sanamu ya Moi aliyekufa. Hii serikali walikuwa wanasema wanajiunga nayo ni kubeba mnara kupelekea Gideon. Na kama ni mnara walikuwa wanataka kupelekea Gideon, so wangeita Gideon wamleta hapa Uhuru Park wamuonyeshe mnara ya Moi.
Now, Western Kenya leaders hammering each other over Fimbo ya Nyayo with the emergence of Gideon Moi as the latest leader to try and gain a foothold in Western Kenya. Is there really a solid bloc in Western Kenya, or will we just see a split vote in 2022 as has been the case in the previous years?
Voting pattern in Western Kenya will basically depend on whether Honorable Raila is on the ballot or not. He enjoys a chunk of support. There is speculation that he will be on the ballot. There's also speculation that maybe due to health challenges, he may not be. Health challenges and age, he may not. If he is not there, the Western Kenya bloc is up for grabs. But I think this jostling around under the leadership of Brother Francis Atoli, EBS, DDI, that one is not about leadership and development. It is about how to tackle the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. I think they fear him so much that they are gathering, they'll eat here, they'll drink here, they'll do all sorts of things, they'll run around. But as long as they are running around in the spirit of stinginess, and Honorable William will come, and when he appears, 1 million shillings, 4 million, the youth from Luland will still visit William. They will not visit Atwoli or Gideon. And what I've learned along the way in politics, even in church, people come and then you infest their minds with the word eloquence and they just support you. Now that you leave to William. So if they are going to tackle, in the absence of Honorable Raila, they need to work very hard because Honorable William seems to have a lot of money. he is generous, he is eloquent, he is fast, and then he is sober 24 hours. So he is not a joke. That is why the lawyer nation is in dilemma. Because the other team that is rubbishing what the Atuli team is doing are actually expressed to be supporting the deputy president. That's what they're doing. Now the Atuli team are chosen to meet in houses in good high places and to eat well and to take pictures and to put on WhatsApp and on Facebook. But you see, Honorable Uliam, when he meets, either there are people and you hear a million here, a million there. So the battle is real.
Allies of the Deputy President like Kapseret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi are also reaching out to groups from ODM strongholds like Nyanza.
Chale tumeweka chini. Maneno mawe tumeweka chini. Maneno ya kisi tumeweka chini. Hakuna tena kuacha tire wapi? Ondele. Kwa sababu unajua nilikuwa nasikia bali juzi akisema ati msifanye hivi tutarudi kwa street. Mwambie Mbadi apeleke na watoto wake waende street. Mwambie Junet apeleke watoto wake wapi? Mimi tukishikana sisi watu wadogo tutafurusha hawa.
Well, there are interesting comments there from Sudi about Wananchi getting together regardless of tribe. Is it just rhetoric or is there a bigger game plan by the DP's allies?
Yes, I think there's a big game plan. Because they are under restrictions because of COVID, new methods are emerging. One, the Deputy President has been hosting church leaders and people in his residence. Maybe regulations may come and say, now government facilities, you don't meet like that. But he has also strengthened his allies. Maybe finances them, and you have heard that speech. You invite, and when you go to somebody's home, you eat well, he talks to you, he gives you something, and the speech itself, that's what they live with. If you look at it today, in the absence of Honorable Raila Odinga on the ballot, or Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, I still don't see any person who can defeat the deputy president. I will see it, but I'm not seeing. Especially the other team being led by Honorable Francis Atwoli. Cooks nice meals for them, they eat, then they go around, then they come out and say, we are bringing change. Honorable Gideon Moy, great man, has to have a footing in his backyard first. So their prayer should be that Jacom Baba Mwenyewe carries the flag. In his absence, there is a problem, a big one, because Ulia is ready, he seems to be ready, and he seems to be prepared, and is light enough, and he is also, from what I see and hear, easy to reach. It is more easier to reach the Deputy President than to reach Francis Atwoli. Yet Atwoli is the one representing the workers. So, going from what I see, the allies have begun, they are working. They were disorganized, they were disrupted by Corona and the crackdown from the president's side. But I think now they are rejuvenating themselves. They have taken fresh water and juice.
They're getting their food.
They are getting their food, and you have had Sudi talking very nicely. Even me, if I was there, I would cheer, I would clap.
An impeachment motion against Speaker Beatrice Elachi is expected for debate. Meanwhile, the Cabinet Secretary Interior, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, says that a police post is to be set up at the Assembly to enforce security. Now, the MCA Patricia Mudeu, who was beaten up by the police officers, recorded a statement at the Central Police Station last week. The DCI has begun investigations into the matter. The question is whether, can we really trust the police to investigate themselves? And is putting up a police post at the County Assembly the solution to the deep problems in governance of the capital city?
The decision, the thinking that we put a police post at the County Assembly by Honorable Matiang'i, for this time, I think he has thought wrongly. That's a place they go temporarily. There are quite a few of them. We want those police posts in various places where they provide value. There, they are selected people, well known. They go there laughing, eating, drinking, and then a few minutes they decide to beat each other. Then they also stop and go out drinking. Those are not people you set up police posts for. Secondly, you don't send police to beat people there. The way it was done, then you expect investigations. The cameras are there. The photographs were taken. There's nothing to investigate. I read somewhere that the policeman, the senior police officer who was captured beating up the lady, had been interdicted, had been confirmed to have not been cleared during the time the police were going through vetting. So there's nothing much. They will dilly-dally and go round, but eventually I know they will be forced to ensure that justice takes place. Our MCAs, that's a reflection of ourselves, the people we elect. We elect them on the basis of party, on the basis of money they give us, on the basis of tribe. If those are the three top considerations, party, tribe, money, then they are quite in order, fighting, because we didn't tell them we want civilized, decent human beings in our assembly. We said, as long as you're a member of my tribe, or you give me some money, or you are in my party, fine, go in there. So when they go there, they don't know exactly what to do. What do? They fight each other, and it has been there. What Honorable Matiang'i should have thought of is City Hall itself needs cleansing, some prayers. The atmosphere there, the air there over the years, they are in a frequency, a dark frequency of fights and theft and all the bad things. Why haven't you heard that Holy Family Basilica people are fighting? They are almost next to each other. They are not fighting because the atmosphere in that place is different from the atmosphere in City Hall, known and grown in corruption, fighting, all sorts. So Matiang'i should bring the SDA's people on Saturday to also pray for them so that they change their attitude. Then you summon the MCAs, put them together and train them and pray for them and lay hands on them, because what they are doing, they know. Some of these people, when you meet them in their own houses, they are very nice. They even wash plates. They are very nice. And the men are washing plates and are mopping the room. But when they come out, they're like animals. So they need mental change.
Is this the end of the era of the big book at the police stations known as the OB? Now, will the introduction of the digital OB at the police stations really end the culture of corruption by the police?
Corruption is in the heart. That's why corruption is across. The tenderpreneurs are not police. Those who are stealing our masks, they are not police. Corruption is in the heart. Digitalizing some of the operations is meant to enhance efficiency. It is not meant to finish corruption. So I think Honorable Matiang'i is also getting it wrong. We do not bribe police officers to get files for us. I've never had a situation where I need a file from the police, but I've had a situation where you are overspeeding, or you have done this, or you have slapped somebody wrongly, and they want to lock you that same night, or you are drunk and disorderly. Then you say, "Afande, wacha nikuje kesho." Say, what's the consideration? Atao. That is it. This is not the file. So let him not demonize a good step in digitalizing operations to enhance efficiency and turn it into finishing corruption. This will make corruption, if it is about corruption, then it will enhance it. Because when you are talking about digital, you are talking about computer, you are talking about data, you are talking about sitting down, you are talking about opening things, you are talking about knowledge, understanding. It is more difficult. If he thinks I am not accurate, let him ask KRA and people. Including me, I have difficulties accessing KRA and doing it. And I'm an average person in matters IT. What about Wanjiku and Chieng and whatever in the streets? So, what am I saying there? I am saying to digitalize is to be able to become efficient, not to finish corruption.
High Court James Makau has suspended implementation of President Uhuru Kenyatta's executive order of May 11th, placing constitutional commissions like the Public Service Commission, the IEBC, Land Commission, and others under the Attorney General and Cabinet Secretaries after a petition by the Law Society of Kenya. What is the effect of such an order?
I've not read in detail, but I think the President made a mistake saying this one is under the Attorney General, under this, under that, unless it was basically for relations and internal administration. For instance, there are things that have to be channeled all the way to the president. So the president has to provide an avenue through which you channel those things. If, for instance, a commission wants to buy vehicles, a commission wants additional money, all these things, for it to be put in the budget, which channel? Do you take it through internal security? Do you take it through agriculture? Do you take it through devolution or attorney general? If that is the thinking that the president had, that is right. But if it is that the attorney general is in charge, that is wrong. So I do not know the nitty-gritty, but I think the judge must have taken that into account. And I would say that the decision by the president to lump constitutional commissions together and tell them they are under the attorney general may not have been very, very sound in law.
The Attorney General to appoint 41 judges as sought by the Law Society of Kenya. The judges said that such power only resides with the President, who is bound by recommendations by the Judicial Service Commission. So what will be the resolution to this matter, with the President standing his ground even though he's acting unconstitutionally?
The President's actions are political. He's a political leader acting within a constitution. If there is a standoff the way it is, it will call for a political solution. It is not about grandstanding. We have 20 orders. If the president says no and he says, yes, I was elected, who elected you? That requires a political answer. Let my colleagues not accuse me, oh, you are supporting that. I am telling you, it requires a political solution. What is the solution? It has to ensure that parties cede their grounds. The president needs to come down. The judiciary also needs to come down. The contention is that if some people are left out and others are appointed, it will then be giving the president leeway to choose people he wants and reject the ones he doesn't want, yet the constitution does not give him that power. That is correct. But if the president also strongly feels that there are some people who ought not to have been promoted or ought not to have been there, then he must follow the procedure that ensures that these people are removed. So either way, it calls for a political stroke legal solution combined, two of them. Just grandstanding is not enough.
Dispute between the Sarit Center and Laser Eye Clinic dispute. The building owner has kicked out the clinic after 20-year tenancy, while clinic argues that services to patients will suffer.
Requested to give us a special access to engineer from Italy. An engineer from Italy came 2 years ago to check the machine. There was some machine was damaged because of the smoke. They rectified, changed the optics and everything. Now same thing, Justice Okombo is refusing to understand. He said it can be done by local engineer.
We just heard from Dr. Mukesh Joshi, Director, Laser Eye Center, and his lawyer, Dr. Philip Murgor, and the Parliamentary Health Committee is also investigating this dispute. We will not get into the specifics of this matter, which is before the courts, but as our legal expert, tell us how to seek redress in such a dispute, which may even involve your landlord arbitrarily throwing you out of the house or a business premise. What rights do we have as tenants?
The first thing you need to have is an agreement. The law requires that when you occupy premises, land, there must be agreement. Any disposition of interest in land must be in writing, usually called a tenancy agreement or a lease. I hope or assume that that exists between the two warring factions. If it is not there, the landlord is entitled to throw you out, regardless of your investments in that premises. In fact, I would always urge my clients who have problems with their tenants, including myself, that the easier route is negotiation, compromise, understanding. Because at the end of the day, the tenant stands to lose more if that agreement cannot come. Think big, think out, go to another building. If it is Westlands, there are many buildings in Westlands, but there is also a tendency to think that it is only here. Without being here, my clients will not come and whatever. I will follow my doctor or my optician, even to Ngong, if the services they render, the value they provide is worth it. But as lawyers, I can tell you, we can expand and enlarge litigation. We can make it big, because from there we have our daily bread.
Thank you so much for coming, Weda.